Good evening. It's a chilly March evening, but we have got an absolute packed radio show. I hope you can stay around for the whole thing. I'm Retro Faith. I'm here with you until the wee hours. The Retro Show is normally about an hour and a half. We go through all things geeky, news, all the regular bits and pieces, have a look at what new games are coming out, things like that. Coming up, we have we meet our collector, the bundle master, the Colonel himself. This guy's collection's insane. Wait till you see that later on. That's coming up about 10 o'clock. We also are celebrating Pokemon 25th birthday today, so we'll be doing a little bit of Pokemon stuff. Before all that, then let's have a little bit of tunage. So this is from the original Pokemon composer Junichi Masuda, and straight after this we have our regular news feature. Enjoy the songs. Stick around. So it's Pokemon's 25th birthday. That happened over the weekend, Sunday, I believe. It was quite a celebration. It's not a series I have much experience with myself. I played the original games on the Game Boy. I think I played a couple on the N64, Pokemon Stadium, and a few bits and pieces. But yeah, everyone was going crazy, and quite rightly. What a series. So a little bit of housekeeping before we move on to some more stuff. Have you bought a new item for your collection? Have you some news to share with the Retro Faith offices? Do you just want to say hello? Contact at retrofaith.net. All the usual Twitters, Facebooks, all that sort of stuff, all lovingly sweeping along the bottom there for you guys. But Pokemon 25th. So first released on February 27th, 1996. It's a great acclaim, and from what I was reading, the reviewers, the critics and the players alike seem to love it, and it seems to have stuck a little bit to go 25 years. So Pokemon spawned a massive franchise. We've had popular trading cards, obviously. You can't mention Pokemon without mentioning the Pokemon cards. Hello, Duncan, darling. Obviously, we've had Hollywood movies now. There's cartoons and loads of merch. It seems to be evergreen with every iteration as well. And there's still folks who are super engaged. So after 25 years, how does it keep its popularity? Now, I had a little look into it. And I thought, do you know what? There was a new thing released on mobile, wasn't there? The thing where you flick your Pokeball and you go around and they appear in buildings and in parks and stuff. So I think that kind of re-engaged Pokemon and re-energized it for the for a new generation. But that's great. So I'm sure it will continue to evolve. You just see what I did there, and way into the future it will continue to be a success. So we've got more stuff about Pokemon because it's not really for me to talk about. What about you guys? If you want to talk Pokemon chat in the chat, that would be great because I haven't got a lot to say about it really, except it's a great series. I just remember playing the original, and I thought this is a decent game. It wasn't really for me. I was more into sort of action games and stuff. But I remember my younger brother. He loved all the cards and he still collects them to this day. So that shows just how enduring it is. So without further ado, we obviously have our first section of the evening, which is our news section. And by the power of magic, I will get our news hound, the backbone of the show, our lovely Sam Gittins, who's going to be taking us through the news. As always, Red Spawn Sprites. I just played Red and Blue and the trading card games and Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon Stadium. I think that's the one that I played. That's the 3D one. We had the transfer pack and all that. I remember that one. So we're trying to get Sam on the line. Hopefully he's able to answer. Otherwise, this might be a quick news section because not much I'm going to say about it. Sam, are you there?
Someone mentioned Pokemon.
Someone mentioned Pokemon. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How's
Brilliant.
it
going? I am wonderful, thank you. Do you want to just turn your mic right up for me, just so I can get a level, please?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
There we go.
I got you. How have you been, Sam? How's your week been? You've been busy, I see. I was perusing your website. You've been doing a lot.
Yeah, it's been a fair bit of news this week. It's not been the busiest week, but not quite this week either. But yeah, we've had a few news articles up there.
Well, we've got a... I was supposed to have a little Pokemon. Yeah? So while we're talking about Pokemon, that's the first news item, isn't it? So we've got the Pokemon news, so we might as well start with that, being that it's the 25th anniversary. So you had some news about Pokemon for us, Sam, I believe.
Yeah, there was a recent Pokemon Direct, and there were a few big titles announced. First of which would be Pokemon Legends Arceus or Arceus, depending on pronunciation. But yeah, this looks to be a new entry in the series. It says here on the press release that you got the fun of exploring while catching Pokemon and filling in a Pokedex has always been a core part of the Pokemon video game series.
Okay.
So Pokemon Legends Arceus was developed with the desire to deliver an experience infused with new action and RPG elements that go beyond the framework established thus far, while honouring the core gameplay of past Pokemon titles. Really? So it looks like they're trying something a little bit different. I mean, just from watching the footage, from what I could see, it looked like they've taken elements of the recent games, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and maybe combined it a bit with Pokemon Go and added in some other mechanics. But it's interesting. It seemed to be quite early in development, but they got a bit of the groundwork down. I think it's not going to be coming out for a while, but I think it was more to give everyone a glimpse of what to possibly expect in series in the future.
Okay, so I mean, I know why Pokemon's really popular. It's a great series. It's an especially good game for kids. It's colourful. It's got great characters. It's got movies and it's got cartoons, merchant, and all the cartoons. But like, why do you think that Nintendo just keep hitting a home run with this every single time? What is it about Pokemon that just makes it so successful?
Well, I think with Pokemon, I think you got the core gameplay mechanics. Obviously, catching all that was the big phrase of the mid '90s was like got to catch them all, and I think they've kind of taken that and run with it. But with each iteration, I think they added about 100 new Pokemon with each new set of games, and I think that's probably the most endearing aspect. You got all the different various designs. I mean, some would maybe argue that some of the original designs were better, or some from the third or fourth generation, perhaps. But they've always come out with lots of different creatures. So it's interesting to see what you get with each iteration. But the core gameplay mechanics don't seem to have changed much until the most recent games which come out. It's very much, you know, you go around, obviously journeying across the various regions, catching the Pokemon, battling with them, and obviously trading was a big thing. And obviously you can do all that online these days and whatnot. And there is a competitive aspect to it as well.
Yeah, we've had here from Odd Pod Retro, who is actually our guest today. Hello, you're in the stream. Kids just love collecting stuff. Do you think that's part of it as well? It's like, yeah, as you've explained, that you've got to catch them all, kind of mantra that it has, and it kind of, you know, those poor parents that are like, you've got to buy more Pokemon cards, you've got to buy more Pokemon cards. So, well, that's brilliant. Is there any more news on Pokemon while we've got Pokemon?
Yeah. That's first of 3 titles. The second is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. So clearly these are remakes of games which have come before, and they've actually been outsourced. It says they're developed by Ilka Incorporated, but they're still directed by Junichi Musada of Game Freak, who you referenced because he was composer on was the original Pokemon game out there, and. Yeah, basically, it says here that the games will enable fans to experience the original story and game features from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl in a fresh way. So the original games have been faithfully reproduced and colourfully revitalised for the Nintendo Switch. So the sense of scale of towns and routes has been carefully preserved. And fans who played the original games will recognise many familiar places. And it also says that they've been updated with easy-to-understand, player-friendly conveniences introduced in the recent core series of video games, in addition to up-close and personal Pokemon battle scenes.
Wow. So is that an actual remake then, or is it not like a whole new game for people to...
No, it's a remake. And I think the new graphics have divided opinion. I think people have said you can see that a bit of work has gone into it, but obviously, when you outsource something, it's going to look a bit different, which is understandable. So it might end up being a bit of a compromise. But I think if they want to bring out lots of games, I think that's probably the only way that you're going to do it. Have the core team focusing on the main games and then outsource the remake. So I can see the logic in it.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I put the wrong news thing up there. And there's one more game, is there?
Yeah, the next one's probably going to be quite a popular one for anyone who remembers the original. It's New Pokemon Snap. So obviously this is a sequel to the original, which was released on the N64. So we haven't had a Pokemon Snap game since late 90s.
What was that? I don't know.
For anyone who's not played Pokemon Snap, basically it's like an on rails type game where you think like Star Fox, just for the on rails perspective, but you're going a bit much slower paced. Except you're going around, obviously capturing pictures of Pokemon, and as you'd go along through these predetermined paths, I seem to remember you'd be able to throw fruit for the Pokemon, or play a little tune on the Pocky Flute, and get them to basically strike poses, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to get all of them unless you did certain things in certain sequences. But it was interesting on repeat playthroughs, but it was quite a small game. But I think for its time, this is the first time people were seeing a lot of Pokemon, in 3D, aside from Pokemon Stadium. So I think for the amount of time that's passed, obviously now with the technology, they'll be able to, bring it to life in a different way.
Yeah. So James, that is much more. And Pod Retro mentioned about, it came from like the original designers were collecting bugs in their garden and stuff, and then
that's it.
It got it in a bundle. Okay, so James is saying he didn't really enjoy it very much. He didn't have much memories of it. It's like an on-rail shooter, but you're taking pictures rather. Okay, I think I know the game now. On the picture of it, on the box of it, it's got Pikachu with a camera, hasn't it? I know the game.
That's it.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, not one I played. Not really something I saw.
It's a bit of a divisive one. I think it's one of those ones that had its fans. And I thought it was a good game for its time, and I think the originals got promise. Out of all these games, it's one I'd probably consider, but obviously see what it's like, closer to the release of it. But yeah, it's not that far away. It's coming out on April 30th, 2021.
Okay, when are the other games coming out? Just so we can get a recap there.
Now the remakes, Diamond and Pearl remakes, doesn't actually show a release date. They didn't actually show release dates for
Oh,
anything
okay.
else that I could see.
No worries.
But the first title would be a little way off, and then Diamond and Pearl, I would have thought they wouldn't. Yeah, they'd be not before Pokemon Snap, I would have thought.
Okay, so we've got Pokemon Snap and then some more traditional Pokemon style games. Is that all the Pokemon news? Or are we moving on? Or
Yeah, no, I think that's all the Pokemon news we got.
we're done with Pokemon? Done with Pokemon. We'll see some more Pokemon later in the Bundle Masters collection. I've seen the photos. Oh my god, we see some more Pokemon. If you like Pokemon, there's more.
Right.
This looks like Smash Brothers to me, my friend. Tell us about Smash Brothers.
Ah, yeah, that actually happened only a few hours ago. Basically, it's Sakurai was presenting the latest characters to be added to Smash Bros. Obviously, when Sakurai's the director, and he outlines all the characters and oversees all their development. But yeah, Pyra and Mithra are kind of one and the same character, so they're two characters in one. In a similar vein to how you had Sheik and Zelda in Super Smash Bros. Melee, so you'll be able to transform between the two characters.
Where are they from? I don't recognise these characters.
They're from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Ah, that game
So
that
they're
you telling
from
me
an
to play.
RPG series. Yeah, it's. I must admit, I hadn't actually finished the game to completion, but
Yeah.
it's got quite a following, so it's understandable why, they've chosen to put characters into the game. Not technically the main character, but because I think the main character is Rex, and also Rex gets a cameo in Smash Bros. As well. It was interesting to see how they've incorporated the world of Xenoblade Chronicles into Smash Bros. As well.
Right. Interesting.
I think that's probably the highlight of the presentations, because it's definitely one big celebration of gaming. But
We've got Rudan Sprites here is saying that he remembers going to they remember going to a Smash Brothers tournament and a guy dressed as Mario threw his controller across the room. You mean like there's like rage out at Smash Brothers? I thought it was like all nice kids playing like wannabe Street Fighters. I'm only trolling.
Oh, wow.
I'm only trolling. Any more news on Smash Brothers?
Yeah, so basic outline of the characters is because it's two characters in one. You've got Pyra is more about dealing the damage, and you can also switch out to Mithra. She's more focused on speed. So I think there's going to be quite a few interesting combinations. When you see a few maybe tournaments going on, and I think it'll mix things up a bit. Even though you've already got quite a few characters that have swords and everything. I think there's a bit of magic in there as well. So
Awesome.
yeah, but good to see a new DLC character.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it? It's a big thing. It's a big thing. Are we moving on?
Yep.
Right, and now this is one I was interested in. Cubic Games, 17 years. So they're celebrating their 17th birthday. Is that right?
Yeah, and to celebrate their 17th anniversary, they've got a deal on where if you buy one of these 4 games, I think they got Robonauts, Pocket Mini Golf, Puzzle Book, and a colouring book application, which is free to start with. You can get a load of other games for 17p.
17p, and that's on the Switch, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so there's there is a website there.
Who doesn't want games for 17p? That would be amazing.
Sure.
Imagine that. Just go. I mean, I think for 17p, you might as well just buy them all, mightn't you? You might as well collect them all, like Pokemon. You might as well just.
Oh,
do
yeah.
a lot.
So I think that it's going to be obviously a bit hit and miss with some of the titles, but there's some games on there that I recognised. They're not all 17p, but I think that's the entry level. So if you get even the free game, you get a load of games for that price. But then there's also a load of other games that are down to £1.70, and that includes all of the Bit Trip games. So they're obviously kind of like retro focused platformers. So I thought they're not bad for that price.
So would Cubic do it? I mean, just to put you on the spot, maybe, but if you're not sure, obviously don't worry. But would Cubic Games do any games that we would be familiar with, just like off the bat, like or maybe rather than just like sort of shovelware and stuff? It is like art programs and stuff. Is there anything that they've done that we might be aware of? Or
I'll post a link there, but there are a few recognisable titles that jump out. Obviously, the other ones I mentioned, they were £1.70. Obviously, you got the Bit Trip games. There's also Coffee Crisis in
Oh,
£1.70
yeah,
as
I know
well.
that game. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
okay,
that's
yeah.
why it's an interesting mix. So even though you could get the cheap game, you can also get the there's some of the games that are in between that you'll probably find might be more appealing, for the price. I think they have been on sale before, some of them. So, but every year they seem to, come out with a good sale or offer. But I think they obviously gone all out for their
Yeah.
17th this year. But
Excellent.
yeah, for the 17p games, I think there was one in there called Makane. I recognise that one. I think that was a kind of like hack and slash type game. And there's also One Strike. That's like a one-on-one fighting game.
Oh, I've got that
Where
game.
you
I've got that game. I
yeah,
bought that for like 50p or something. I used when I first got a Switch. Yeah, it's like
yeah,
it's like Samurai Showdown.
really nice.
Yeah,
It's a stylized version of that, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really?
no, it's like Samurai Showdown, but it's just one hit. Like literally
One
two
hit,
characters. You walk towards each other. And you do lots of blocking at first and parrying and stuff, and then if you get that one strike in, you win the round. And you've got to try and beat like 20 characters in a row. It wasn't a bad game. I sound complete on the day I got it for 50p. I was like, Joe, 50p. There you are. Then we can maybe have a bit of a go on that later because I've got that on my Switch. Right. Just in time there, my chat thingamabob that talks to me has said, for all you Nintendo fans out there, check out the neurope.com for all your independent news reviews. That's your site, Sam, isn't it? You wanted to tell us a little bit about the latest podcast, is that right?
Yeah, I was going to say for all of the rest of the news and much more as well, you can also check out the NE Cafe podcast. We've had a couple of episodes in the past week or so. So episode 65 is What Remains of Edith Finch special, because we have a Pod Pals thing where the community plays one particular game, so there's lots of insight, and that's quite an interesting game in itself. I'd advise playing it before going too in depth from that. But for a more general podcast, you've got episode 66, which features a fun Nintendo franchise focused game, which is where you might have seen it on another podcast before, where you start off with a whole page of much loved series, and you kind of whittle it down into it's just maybe a few franchises. So it's like if you could only keep one or a few, which ones would you would you keep, and which ones would you?
Okay, so almost like a kind of this franchise versus that franchise, who comes out on top for you, sort of thing.
That's it, yeah. So you could have things like F-Zero,
who won
1080 snowboarding.
Who won? Oh, you have to listen to the podcast.
This is the interesting thing. Yeah, I can't give it all away, and it's not necessarily down to because what would generally happen though is you'd have the key franchises would kind of almost be there to the end. So the interesting thing is a few franchises get set aside, so they're kind of safe. But yeah, it's interesting to see which ones are at the end.
Right.
Well worth checking.
We'll say no more because people got the link there and they can go and have a listen. We've got some. Am I right in saying that we actually have some actual Sega news today?
Yeah, and strange turn of events. There is some Sega news.
Just before we mention the Sega news, can I just celebrate the fact that we have Sega news by doing this? Because we very rarely get it. What's the Sega news, Sam? Sorry, guys. Go on.
For anyone who remembers the Panzer Dragoon remake,
yes,
which came out quite recently, or I suppose best part of a year ago, but it's out on everything now. You've now got Panzer Dragoon 2 Zhuai remake from the same developer. It's actually coming out in 2021.
Wow! So just before we go into the new, well, not the new one, like the remake of the second game, there was obviously a little bit of hoo-ha around the first game. Mostly that it was a little bit buggy and it took a little bit of time to come out. And would I be right in saying that some fans just weren't happy about the way it played and it didn't really stay as true to the original as people wanted it?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, I think the studio behind it, they definitely had the passion, but I'm not entirely sure if they had all the resources they needed. So I think at the start there were a few things about the game that were maybe a little bit ropey, like the frame rate and whatnot. But to their credit, though, they really did overhaul the game from the start. There was at least one significant update at the start, and there might have even been a couple more. And I think they really improved it over time. But I think by that time, maybe a lot of the damage had been done, and If it thought, oh well, if it's not quite as we remember it, then maybe I won't bother picking it up.
Yeah,
but I think
'cause,
there's a decent remake under there. But
yeah, it's not a terrible
yeah,
game, is it? I mean, it's not like it's awful,
No.
like it's unplayable. But yeah, I think the problem
No.
is with a series like this is there's such love for it. It's one of those classic Sega franchises that loads of people love. So if there's it's like when a new Sonic game comes out and it's really crap, and I'm like sitting there going like, oh, Sonic Team, I hate you so much, but I'm still going to buy it. And I think so many people rushed out to buy the Panzer Dragoon, especially when you got a limited run games. Not going to say too much about those.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of bundled on and got it and everything, and then all of a sudden the game itself wasn't the best. So let's hope they do much better with the second one, because now hopefully they've learned, and now that they've got a base by doing the first one, hopefully they can move on. Right, I'm not going to rush you, but we do have to get to my guest. So that's great news. A lot of people in the chat there saying yes, great news. I think it's great news too, guys. Some quick roundup news. Sam, Antrim Arcade that I play on this a lot. There was a couple of games. Have you got those there that we could just run through quickly?
Oh yeah. I mean, first up there you've got Arch Rivals.
That's a great.
I believe that was
an
a classic
game. Yeah, Arch
basket
Rivals.
basketball game.
Yeah. It's like NBA Jam, but SNK version.
So it's very stylized, but it looks like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the old classic Barbarian.
Yeah.
That's a good, like kind
I
of
hope they've
hack
got
and
all
slash
the
game.
versions. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was on everything, wasn't it? Was it Spectrum, Commodore, like all the computers of
Do you know
the
what?
age,
It's actually on there now because I played it yesterday or the day before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And there was one more big game, wasn't there, for Antrim this week?
Yeah,
probably the best one out of the lot. Gauntlet, the original Gauntlet, guys. I mean, who doesn't love Gauntlet? I was watching my boyfriend play it. I think it was a few days ago when we were both a bit tired, and I was just watching the telly or something, and he put Antrim on in the background on our PC, and I was looking at it. I was more engaged with watching him play Gauntlet than I was watching whatever I was watching on the telly. So that's brilliant. That's Antrim. I've got a little bit of news myself. You guys might be familiar with a game I've been kind of promoting because I did a big review on it. The lovely guys at Retro Sumus. And their lovely words, Faith. Words. Their brand new Dreamcast game, Xenocider, has now got a digital copy which you can download and burn to a disc. And they're doing free shipping on all their remaining stock, and that's free shipping worldwide. So if you haven't picked up this game yet, check out my YouTube for the review. It's a cracking game. It uses the twin stick. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's like Space Harrier meets Res. That's the only way. That's the best thing I can say about it. So we've got just a bit of the words there from everyone's saying Gauntlet's good, Barbarian on the Amiga, yeah, definitely. So that's the news roundup, guys. Sam, thank you very much. Sorry to rush you at the end there, but I've got to get to my guest. So Sam, thank you very much once again being the news hound and keeping us all up to date. I really appreciate it. So I've got to say goodbye, my friend. I've got to get on to my interview.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, man.
All right, see you later, my friends. All right, bye-bye.
Hey.
And bye. Thank you, Sam, there, for doing that for us. Now, just before we get on to you, we've got Game of the Day, and then I can go back behind the scenes and get ready for the interview. We've got a cracking interview. We've got an actor from Star Wars, guys. We've got an actor from actual Star Wars. More on that in a minute. Just before we do that, 1080 was released today, or this week rather. Sorry, I think it was Tuesday. I've got my dates mixed up. 1998. It was released in 1998 this week. The N64 Classic featured realistic snow effects and it helped Nintendo appeal to an older and cooler audience. I mean, it's snowboarding. It's cool, right? It was critically acclaimed and won the battle for King of the Mountain when it went up against Cool Wars 2 on PlayStation and Steep Slope Sliders on the Saturn. Remember those ones as well? I'm going to do a little bit of a shout out of myself here. I'm going to be doing a King of the Mountains YouTube video because I'm a huge extreme sports fan and snowboarding is my thing. So look out for that in the coming weeks and months. So coming up, is Sam Victor. Sam Victor, a Star Wars actor, a producer, all sorts of things. We're going to get into that very soon. But just before that, celebrate 1080's 23rd birthday. Let's have some tunage from composer Kenta Nagata. Stay tuned, Retroheads. Hello guys, how are you doing? Thanks for sticking with us while we just get the get everyone set up here. Oh, I've disappeared. There I am. Right, everyone, this is Mr. Star Wars that I've been going on about all week. Sam Victor, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you.
No problem. Can I just get a sound? Can you just turn your mic up ever so slightly? Just so I can get a level with myself, so people aren't straining to turn me down.
So
Turn your mic up.
Go, but I can bring it closer. Is that
Yeah,
good?
yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, no, brilliant. So thank you so much for coming on. My viewers love to talk to people that do all sorts of things geeky. And when me and you sort of met the other day, on a stream that we were both sort of on, and we got chatting. It turns out that you do loads of geeky stuff. So just so people don't know who you are, why don't you just give us a very quick rundown on who you are and what your career is about, please?
Okay. Yeah, difficult thing to summarize. My name is Samuel Victor. Some people in the retro game world know me as Pixels Limited and a member of Retro and Lim and the Ministry of Retro Gaming. Also, I was an exec producer on Digitizer the Show. But outside of retro gaming stuff, I started in the music industry when I was 16. I worked with many big artists, mostly American rappers, people like Eminem, D12, R. Kelly, people like that. That slowly led into working on music videos, which then led into working on films. And I have worked on over 100 films. I've produced about 30 feature films myself. I've directed 6. And I've starred in a load of movies for other people as well. Most of the movies that I've starred in, though, are like super low budget, straight to DVD, straight to Netflix, Amazon Prime, kind of thing you see on Channel 4 at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I always say,
we love those kinds of movies.
But I'm not famous. Like I think I've been recognised in the street like twice. But I do get invited to things like, conventions and premieres and award shows. And at that point, I feel famous because people interview me. But that's only because they're being told that I'm famous. People wouldn't recognize me on the street. I'm not famous like that.
Brilliant. Right. So one of the things that sort of grabbed me towards you, let's get it over and done with the Star Wars. So you were in Rogue One. Tell us what happened here. This is amazing, guys.
Yeah, I've been in and around the periphery of Star Wars ever since Disney got hold of it, because I've done freelance work on and off for Disney since I was 16, and I'm pushing 40 now. And I've been a Star Wars fan my entire life. Always, watched the movies over and over again on VHS, played with the toys and the computer games, everything else. I just always loved Star Wars. So as soon as I heard they were making, new movies, I campaigned and did everything I could to at least get on set. And when Force Awakens was being made, I managed to blag myself onto set by essentially saying I would work for free and they didn't have to credit me, and I'd just be a runner, I'd make the tea, I'd be an extra, I'd do anything. And it was all worth it because I got to set foot on the Millennium Falcon, and that was a huge thing. I'm one of these people, I chat a lot, as you can probably tell, and I network very well. So I made a lot of friends with people, even though I wasn't important at all. I made a lot of friends with people on the set, and I actually ended up being one of the founder members of Force for Change, which was a charity that J.J. Abrams set up, which uses Star Wars branding to raise money for UNICEF. And through that, I ended up partially organising or being involved with some really big Star Wars promotional events, like we did toy launches at Hamleys. We did Stormtrooper marches through Cardiff and London. I did a charity marathon at Disneyland Paris. And I organised Star Wars helped organise Star Wars events for Disneyland Paris for Force for Change and the Season of the Force. I was desperately trying to get actually in the film Force Awakens. I was on set for about 3 weeks when things were being shot, but I didn't actually properly work on it. I was kind of like behind the scenes, and I was trying to get, can I just be a stormtrooper? I'll wear a helmet. I don't care. I just want to do it,
I'll be a tree. I don't care.
Exactly. And it didn't happen, but I felt very lucky just to be involved. And then, funnily enough, I was going through some financial difficulties because I'd invested all my money into a slate of films which were coming out on DVD. And at the time, we were making quite a lot of money doing low budget, straight to DVD, like Danny Dyer gangster movie kind of things.
Yeah.
And at the time, you could make quite a lot of money doing that because people would buy these $2.99, $3.99 DVDs in Asda, you know? So that's what I was doing over and over again. But then suddenly Netflix happened and broadband internet, people were illegally downloading movies, then Netflix happened, and suddenly nobody wanted to buy these movies anymore. And I just invested all my cash into like 5 movies which weren't out yet. And then I was being told, hang on, no DVD distributor wants to buy them anymore, or where they would have bought, say, 100,000 copies, now they only wanted to buy 5,000 copies. So I was like, I can't stop working on movies. So I did 6 months of working all the way through the day on movies, and all the way through the night, I did night shifts at McDonald's to get the cash up in between whilst working on the movies during the day, which was a humbling experience, but it was fun and I learned a lot, made a lot of friends. But I was literally at McDonald's, and then I got a phone call from my agent, said, can you get to Pinewood Studios for 7 o'clock in the morning? And this was midnight. Can you get to Pinewood Studios for 7 o'clock in the morning? And I was in Cardiff. And I said, well, not really. I'm about to start a shift at McDonald's. And they said, well, if you can get to Pinewood Studios for 7 o'clock, you've got a part in you've got a part in the new Star Wars.
Screw McDonald's.
I went, what?
Stop McDonald's. You know, oh, I quit. I'm going to be on Star Wars.
Exactly. So literally, I was like, I just said to my boss, I said, I'm really sorry. I've got to go. Why? Because I'm going to be in a Star Wars movie. What do you mean? I don't know. My agent didn't even tell me. So I thought I was going to be an extra.
So I just go back a bit there. So like, I can imagine like you got your little McDonald's uniform on.
Yeah,
and you're standing there with your little cap on, telling me going like, sorry boss, I quit. Like, why is that? My agent told me. He's like, why have you got an agent? You work in McDonald's. I'm going to be in a Star Wars movie. And he's like, okay, bye. Yeah. Oh, I can imagine that.
Yeah, no, it was exactly that. It was crazy, and I didn't even. So I was traveling down to Pinewood Studios in my McDonald's uniform. I literally had to, at the station, I had to buy some clothes to put it so I didn't turn up in my McDonald's uniform. And I was thinking, well, I'm probably just going to be an extra. They need an extra stormtrooper. They need a whatever, you know. And I turned up, and there's the way Pinewood Studios works is you can't go into the studios. You have to, because for security and whatever, but they have buses that go in and out. So you have to prove that you're working on a film. You get on the bus and then you all go in together and you go through security. So I was with a load of other people who were there to be extras. And I said, do you guys know what's going on? And they said, oh yeah, it's a really big scene. It's for Rogue One. There's like a rebel meeting, loads of people around the table, loads of extras. And I was like, okay, so they obviously just want me to be an extra as well. But I was thinking, that's pretty cool. And if it's a rebel meeting, then I'm probably not going to have like a helmet on or anything like that. So you might even be able to see me. I thought, wow, that's fantastic. And I got there and I just followed all the other extras, and they have like a big tent where all the extras go. And I was in there, and suddenly some people come in, like with clipboards and stuff. And one of them is the director, and one of them is a female who was with the director, who might have been Kathleen Kennedy, but I'm not sure. And they put their hand up, and they were like, Samuel Victor, is Samuel Victor here, please? And I was like, yeah, I'm over there. And they went, oh, I'm terribly sorry, Samuel. You've been sent to the wrong person. I'll get somebody to drive you to your trailer.
Trailer?
And I was like,
what?
What do you mean drive me to my trailer?
You're like, is that where they keep the Big Mac sauce, or like?
Yeah, I know. It was mad. And I got there, and they drove me there, and they dropped me off, and they said, thank you so much. We'll get somebody to take you to hair and makeup in a couple of hours. Thank you so much for doing this at short notice. We've put the script there so you can look over your lines. And I was like, lines? Because I hadn't even been told what I was doing. And I basically had like 2 hours to look over this scene, and there was like 9 lines. And I was playing a character called Torius Cord, who was Blue 2. And I subsequently found out that what it was. You've
got a Star Wars code. I'm sorry, you're skipping all the fun parts. Come on,
I'm blue
Sam,
too,
Sam,
yeah.
stop! You've got a Rebel Rogue Squadron call sign. Is that what you're telling us? You're blue too. You're like blue 2 standing by.
Exactly.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I know. I was going mad because I was like, I don't even know what's happening. And then I've subsequently worked out what it was. There was another actor who's a lot more famous than me. I won't say who it was. But at the very last minute, they basically got fired, I think, because they weren't good enough or because they couldn't make the reshoots or for some reason. And I just happened to fit into the same costume as them. I was the same clothes size. So I was very lucky. It wasn't that they picked me because I'm a great actor. They obviously just remembered me from being on the film, working on Force Awakens in the background. And I fitted in the thing, and they thought, why not? We'll throw him a bone. So then 2 hours later, I was going to makeup, and I was sharing the same hair and makeup place with Felicity Jones, who was literally the lead. And then in the scene, I got to know her, and then in the scene, I was stood there next to her, go, oh yeah, and we were chatting like as if we were best friends because we'd just been in hair and makeup together. It was crazy, and I ended up working on it for quite a long time and doing quite a few different scenes, but in the final film, because as you might have heard, the runtime was something like nearly 4 hours. It was like 3 3/4 hours was the film, and then they cut it down and they make it shorter and shorter and shorter. And I was hearing this and I was thinking, they're going to chop me out.
I'm gone.
They're going to chop me out. They're going to chop me out. They're going to chop me out. But in the finished film, there, depending on how you count it, there's either 1 or 2 lines left in there, and there's a few scenes where you can see like the back of my head or I'm out of focus, but there's like 3 shots where you can properly see me. But the line that everybody kind of associates with me, because I took it and ran with it, was in that Rebel meeting where Gianna Erso is trying to tell her all about the plans for the Death Star and everything, and all the other rebels aren't sure whether they believe her or not. They're all talking over her. I'm the guy that shouts, "Just let the girl speak."
I know. After I spoke to you, I quickly watched the film and I saw you and I was like, "That's the guy."
It's a funny one because in early cuts of the movie, you could see me say it. It was like proper full-on me, and I sent you a screenshot of me literally saying that line. But then on the Blu-ray version, it's for some reason it cuts to a wide shot, and you don't see me say the line. You hear me say the line, and then you see me later on looking very stern. So I don't know why that happened, but either way, I don't mind. Either way, I've got proof that I was there. It's me that said that line. And I've still got my script. I've still got I kept my wardrobe tags just in case people didn't believe me. And very sneakily, I did get in trouble. Very sneakily, I actually took photos with my phone of myself in my trailer when I was first in the costume. I went into the bathroom, and because you couldn't take your phone onto set.
No, of course not.
But I could have my phone in the trailer. So when I got into the costume and everything, so I've got loads of pictures of me in the trailer. Oh, here's my script. Here's my trailer. Here's my name on the door. It was amazing. But it really opened doors for me. Funnily enough, I'd just finished doing a visual effects course with Paul Franklin, he's won multiple Oscars for visual effects, and he's done all the visual effects on. He was the visual effects supervisor for the Dark Knight trilogy and Inception, Interstellar, all of Chris Nolan's movies, basically. And he was saying to me, I got to be quite good friends with him, or at least, we would go down the pub and have a drink and stuff. And he said, why are you wasting your time producing these like really low budget straight to DVD movies and stuff? He said, really, you should have done just 1 or 2 of those and then gone away and done some special effects and stuff and made a cheap movie that looks higher budget than it is because you've done the special effects, and then you'd be able to sell that for a lot of money and you could launch yourself into Hollywood. So I was already thinking that anyway. And then on Rogue One, I was talking to Gareth Edwards, and he was like, that is exactly what he did, because his first big film, Monsters, was made on a budget of almost nothing. But before that, he was working for the BBC making visual effects. So he just did all the visual effects in Monsters himself at home on his computer. But that film was good enough that Universal bought it for multi-million pounds. And then the next film he got to do after that was Godzilla, so he went up from a budget of nothing to a budget of a $60 million movie. And then because Godzilla did well, the next movie was a Star Wars movie. So he said to me, look, if you can do visual effects and you've produced more movies than I have.
Oh, stop, Sam, stop a minute. I think what's happened is you're right of your XLR or whatever you're using there has fallen out because you're getting louder at some points. Wiggle your mic a bit. Yeah, it's going loud and soft.
How's that?
Yeah,
go on. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right. I'm glad I stopped you because I've got 10 minutes left. Now, one of the reasons why we've got chatting, you've got lots of new stuff coming out, but let's start with the one that's coming out soon, isn't it? Odd Pod movie. What's that all about?
Yes. Right. So basically what happened is, because of all these kind of things, like I say, with the Gareth Edwards and all that, eventually this led to me getting a superhero movie, which I'm directing and acting in, which was meant to be a really big budget thing. And I moved to Paris. I literally moved to France ready to film this. And we were meant to start shooting in March of 2020. And of course, in February 2020, everybody went into lockdown and I was stuck in Paris by myself with no family or friends or anything. But my producing partner and my producing partner Blue Lavender and I were talking every day via Skype and things like this. And we started thinking, like, what can we do remotely? What can we do? What can we make while we're waiting to be able to shoot this superhero movie when everything comes out of lockdown? And I've long time been a fan of Odd Pod, which is a brilliant retro-based YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's Dan who runs it, and him and Christian produce the show, and it's got lots of puppets. It's like a Muppet-based show, and like Muppets reviewing old toys, old films, old snacks, old video games, and it's fantastic. I've been a fan of them for a long time, and I've collaborated with them in the past. And it occurred to me, well, hang on, we can't shoot a movie because we can't have all these actors and extras and everything all together because of social distancing. But I was like, puppets don't need to social distance. And also, I'm pretty sure he's got green screens and stuff. So I contacted Dan and I said, how about we make a movie that follows the story of your YouTube channel, but we just make it better, and I'll do loads of amazing like visual effects and animation and music videos and stuff like this. So he started writing more complicated stories using all the puppets and saying, well, can you green screen them all into this and this and this? And I was like, yeah, of course I can. I make special effects for big superhero movies and stuff. Of course I can put a few puppets together or whatever, you know. And but it's amazing. I'm Dan and Christian have really excelled themselves, and Blue has done a fantastic job with the production and the marketing. And what we've got is a lovely little super low budget but really fun kind of 90s inspired puppet based retro nostalgia film. And what's amazing is so many people from the retro community got involved and got on board. We've got over 30 guests who are all YouTubers, like retro YouTubers and games journalists and people like that. It's hard to mention names because I can't mention all 30 of them, but you've got people like Ashens, Guru Larry, Mr. Biffo and Sanya from Digitizer, DJ Slopes, Nostalgia Nerd. So many people. Nobody be offended that I've not mentioned you because there's just so many. Kim Justice, so many, like 30 odd people all appearing as guests in here.
We still got to go through some of your points.
I know. So, but
when's the movie out? When's the movie out?
The movie is out. It's available to pre-order now. The DVDs and Blu-rays will be delivered sometime within the next week or so.
Wow.
And within the next month, it will be on Amazon Prime and stuff. So if you've got Amazon Prime in the UK or the US, you'll be able to stream it for free. But don't do that. Buy a DVD or a Blu-ray. It's great.
Brilliant. That's it. That's the ultimate plug. That's it, guys. We're retro. Yeah. Buy DVD. Yeah. Buy the VHS. Buy the Betamax.
We want to put it on VHS, but we can only do that if we get enough orders because it's expensive to do that. Right. But it's oddpodmovie.co.uk. And if you just search for Oddpod, the channel, the trailer is up there. You can see it. It's really cool.
Cool. Right, I've got 5 minutes left with you, so I've got
5
to.
minutes.
Right, so you said you wanted to talk to me about a podcast, and then we've got to go on to the indie game. So you've got 1 minute on the podcast, and I want to talk to you about an indie game. Go on, what's the podcast all about?
Briefly, the podcast. Firstly, I'm wearing a T-shirt that says "Goron says wash your balls." That is merch from the Folk in Scotland podcast, which I'm nothing to do with, but they're very good friends of mine, and that's my second favourite podcast. My first favourite podcast, however, is one that I produce myself, and it is an anime-based podcast. It's not presented by me; it's presented by my producing partner Blue, who has a much prettier voice than I do, and a guy from America called Brad, who's a mutual friend, and he's fantastic. And if you're into anime, BNB anime podcast is honestly, they've done such an amazing job, and we've done over 50 episodes of it, and there's new episodes.
I'm sure the mods can get us a link in the chat there for that. Right, okay, so brilliant. We'll get a link for that. But I'm this is obviously we're all about video games here. Now you also told me that you're making an indie game. Now I don't want all the information because I'm expecting a copy to review and play on stream while I tear it to pieces in front of you. But what's the game about? What's all game?
It is. So again, this is another project that myself and Blue have done, because Blue is really my producing partner. We work together on loads of stuff. We were meant to be doing the superhero movie, and it's just been, what can we do while we're on lockdown, and what can we do at home? And we're both really into games. She used to be a streamer, and we're both. I'm a massive retro collector. I've got a huge retro collection of stuff, we just went, well, why not make a game? I used to make games back in the day for the Amiga and the C64 and things like this many years ago. And I thought, well, yeah, why not get back into it while we're on lockdown and I can't do anything else? And we've basically developed a really quite complicated, quite ambitious, but really cool Metroidvania game.
Oh, wow.
With it's very in-depth, big RPG magic.
Yeah, you've got Amiga fans in the chat. Oh, Duncan, he loves his Amiga.
Yeah. I love the Amiga. It was a fantastic thing to make games for. It was so easy to make games for it.
Right, what's your game about?
Fantastic system. It's a Metroidvania. it's a cartoony Metroidvania. It's almost like Harry Potter meets Symphony of the Night. That's it. And it's a similar graphic style to the Shantae games, the earlier Shantae games like Pirate's Curse.
Oh wow, yeah, awesome.
It's and it's done as if it was done on an old 16-bit system, but if you had an infinite amount of memory. So it's all voice acted, and it's got huge amounts of animation, but within the color palettes and the resolution limitations and everything of an old 16-bit system. So it's like the ultimate kind of 16-bit Metroidvania game. And it's coming to Switch and Steam and hopefully Xbox and PlayStation, but at the moment, definitely Switch and Steam.
Brilliant. So when can I expect to get my review copy for that?
We're working on the demo beta. Should be ready.
Oh, demo.
In a couple of months, and we've got various distributors who are interested in looking at that, and they might be doing a physical version, probably some form of limited release physical version as well. But if that doesn't happen, it'll still get released. It'll just go straight to digital. So the demo will be in about a month or two. It'll either get picked up for distribution, in which case we'll finish it and it'll come out like 6 months down the line. Yeah. Or if it doesn't get picked up for distribution, we'll do like a Kickstarter or something like that so people can play the demo and pre-order it, and we'll finish it off our own backs as one or the other.
Well, the good thing is we've had a question there from Gunblade, like, can we make sure to get the details? Well, instead of that, I think, Sam, once the demo's available, I think I should play your demo while you're there talking to me, and we can chat about what you've done to put it all together. Yeah. So it's like a Metroidvania in a Shantae style, which sounds right up my street. So far, Switch and Steam. Maybe even if well, how exciting. Well, we're all about the indie games on this show. Everyone knows I'm always reviewing indie games. It's one of my passions is to promote indie games and make sure that we're all purchasing them. I've got to say, you've got to be one of the best guests I've ever had on this show. I thought my boyfriend could talk for England. What is it about people called Sam that can just talk and talk and talk? Right, no, I've got to...
I'm not getting any younger, and I've lived a long and varied life. I was very lucky to get a big break when I was about 16, and therefore I've got so many crazy stories and so many things I've done, because one thing leads to another. It's like one door opens another door, doesn't it? So.
Of course, yeah. Well, I've got to say, I've enjoyed meeting you. I know just from looking at the chat with one eye on the chat that people have found it fascinating. You're now a friend of the show, and that means that you have to come back. So like you don't get out of this. You don't get out of this. You've got to come back, and you've got a game to show me. So there's loads of reasons to come back.
Definitely.
And I was. Yeah, maybe I'm looking forward to watching the movie as well, and see they get so much great stuff. It's lovely when we get to meet people like you. So, big round of applause for you. Thank you so much for taking time. And it seems like you've got your fellow creators with you who have been cheering you on in the chat, which is absolutely brilliant. So, guys, if we could follow this interview up with anything better. I'm not sure. I'm bringing it back to computer games now. Right, Sam, I'll have to say goodbye, my friend, because I've got another guest waiting in the wings of the green in the virtual green room. And thank you so much. And I will chat to you tomorrow. If that's okay. And thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No problem. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Right. Let's quickly go back to how good was that, guys? Now, I mean. If that wasn't enough, we've got another guest coming straight. I mean that has blown me away. That was amazing. Let me end this meeting, right? And I've got to get straight onto my next meeting. This is a fun stream. This is what we do on this stream. So yeah, I mean we've got so much there. We'll talk about it maybe a little bit after the next interviewee. I'm hoping he's not got the ump and has left me. I'm sure he hasn't. Where's my Zoom thing? How do I go back to Zoom? 1 second, guys. Let me just go back here. Where's me meetings? Doobie. Oh, my account, my meetings. Where's my meetings? So we've had that one. Let's start this meeting. Now we've got this guy. This is gonna be. This is going to be. I mean, I don't know if we can top what we just had. I mean, Star Wars and games and stories from behind the scenes. We'll find out now, won't we? Let's get the next guest on. Now, is his camera working? We shall find out. Let's get my own view off. I don't want to see myself on there. Ah, it's the Bundle Master himself. I can see
yes,
you.
I am here. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Give me 1 second, my friend. Let me just get me thingamaboba back and get you onto the collector corner. Hopefully you appear. Oh, you appear straight away. Look at that. Look at that, people! Look at that! God, that, yeah, I mean, that was. Do you know what? I thought I was really looking forward to that. I was looking forward to that interview. Now I'm so looking forward to this as well. This is like the best radio show we've ever had. The guests are just amazing. So thank you to Sam.
I was nervous though. I had no idea if it would work or not. So.
No, you're doing all right. You're doing fine, and you've got a nice, clear voice. So.
Right.
Let me just explain what's going on here. So, guys, as you know, once we have our developer or geeky person chat, which we've just had with Sam, we get on one of the many retro collectors or just game collector people. You know, we call it a retro show. We talk about it. We just basically do anything geeky, don't we? So, we have got our collector this week. Now, this is special. This collection is mesmerizing. It's been mesmerizing me on Twitter. Now, a lot of my followers, a lot of my people that are watching this probably know me more from Facebookies and Twitch and stuff. But I also have to be on Twitter as well because of my work and blah blah blah. But there's this guy. He's sitting right there, and he has the most amazing posts and the most amazing stuff. And we're going to look at it. But before we look at the collection, we're just going to talk to Colonel Falcon. Now, I'm going to call you the Colonel because I just love that name. I just love that name. You just love that. Is that okay? Can I just call you the Colonel? Is that brilliant? Sure. Is that okay? Brilliant. Sure. And now the Bundle Master. You got two names, the Bundle Master.
Yeah, it was actually given to me by one of my followers. I think it was Mohammed.
Wow.
He came up with his name and it just stuck.
Wow. So just before we get on to looking at what because you sent me over some amazing pictures, and I can't wait to show everyone. I've been looking at these like the last couple of days, and I'm like, wow, this is a good collection. Now, where are you from again, exactly?
I'm from the Netherlands.
Yeah, but where? Oh, no, sorry. What is it? Was it Amsterdam or Rotterdam or?
Rotterdam, yeah.
It is Rotterdam, yeah. Do you know, I said Amsterdam to someone, and I was like, no, it was somewhere else. So I wanted to clarify that because that's bad of me not to know. So, Colonel, just before we show some stuff, like, what is it about being? I mean, let's just clarify what a bundle is to you, the Colonel. What is a console bundle? Explain to the viewers.
It's basically a regular system that has a game tied in, where you have a regular Xbox that comes with a game called what do you have? Project Gotham Racing or something like that. So that's called a bundle, in my experience. Yeah.
Well, it's your collection, so you can do it. So just to clarify, that is what the kernel does. The kernel is all about collecting bundles, and we see some
like that, yeah.
every day. Right, I'm going to get onto the first screen here, and hopefully these all work now. Let's fingers crossed that I've set this all up properly. Ah, brilliant! Right, this is the first picture you sent me. Now, talk me through this picture. What's going on here? There's so much going on.
I can't really see the picture myself, so you'll have to help me out here.
Oh, have you not got the stream? Have you not got the stream?
Oh yeah, sure. I was worried that perhaps it would.
Oh no!
Echo.
No. Put the stream on, but just put it on mute. Sorry. I should. Sorry. I always forget to say something to the guests. Damn it. Yeah, put the stream on. Yeah, put the stream on.
Just a moment.
No, take your time. No rush. There's no rush. No rush. Yeah, we're getting oh wows already in the chat. Some of these. This is just the first picture. Yeah, if you just put it on mute though, because we'll get a feedback otherwise.
I've got it here. Yeah. This is an overview picture indeed.
Okay, go on. Talk us through what's going on here then, because what's going on?
What you're seeing here is actually the attic, and I like my gaming room to be quite nice and tidy. You know, you have rooms where you have shelves that are displaying all the games and all the boxes. I wanted the room to have some kind of relaxing feel, you know, where you can sit, read a book, or play a game, or listen to some music, watch maybe some TV.
I knew I'd like you, Colonel. I knew I'd like you. Go on, carry on, my darling.
but when you really want to, you can open every shelf you want, and it will be, filled with games. It will be filled with consoles from back to front, top to bottom. So it's actually kind of packing. And some items I put up on display. I have 4 or 5 displays, and it's usually all centered around the color. You can see it quite clearly: red, black, yellow, orange. Yeah.
Oh, let's go back to the first one. Sorry, I've messed up already. Here we go. Oh, why isn't that coming up? All right. Don't worry. We'll go to the next. Oh, there it is. Sorry. So I can see. I was going to ask you that. So yeah, I can see that the pink, the orange, the green, like Xbox. Exactly. I love that. And it's not quite the same. This is really impressive what you've got. But I've kind of got this. If I can show the viewers quickly, I might be able to. They can see there's a lot of red up there. That's my knuckle shelf. So I kind of do the same sort of thing. Yeah, it's not. It's nothing like that though. That's like something else. Okay, so I mean, yeah. So what exactly is it that got you into wanting to have this amazing space to collect, play, read, as you say, and experience video games? Where's the spark come from?
Yeah, the spark. I've been playing games all my life, and so most of the things that I have in my collection are things that I bought as a little kid, or as a young adult. And there was this one point, and I remember it quite clearly. It's when PlayStation was around. We had PlayStation, Xbox, and GameCube, and I just wondered, why didn't I get a Sega Dreamcast? And they were already disappearing from the stores. They were hard to come by.
Because I bought them all.
Yeah, I know. I'm quite envious right now because it's a great collection you have there, and I just wanted to have one, and that was the moment when it all started. I had some boxes with games, and I had some boxes with consoles, and it just grew every year actually. And then we moved to a new house because we had a bit of a spatial problem. It was too small for us, and we had a room left, and it turned into a gaming room. So that's what happened actually.
Awesome, right? I mean, I mean, guys, as we go through this, I'm trying to go as slow as possible because it is tantalising, and you want to take in everything as it comes up. I mean, I love it. I'm envious of this space that I'm just seeing here. Like, if I walked into that every day, I'd be like, it's so clean. I love the eggshell bluey colour you've got there. That's very relaxing. It's all the nice colours. Right, let's get on to the first. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it, because there's some really, really good stuff here. Now, I hope I put these in the right order. If not, don't worry, we'll get to it. Right, now this is Zelda, isn't it? And sorry, this isn't the Zelda one. No, what's this cupboard? This is just a cupboard full of boxes. Now, I love stuff like this.
Yeah,
What's going on?
This is just when you open up one of these doors, this is what you see. So every door has some stuff in it, and it's I try to categorize it by having a Nintendo door and a PlayStation door, but there was just no no way I could get it done because the collection started growing, growing, and growing. You just needed space, and so it's it's just all right there. That's it.
Yeah, I can relate because I'm the same. I'd love all my Sonic. This is basically behind you is my Sonic collection. I'd love all the games to be facing out, but yeah, again, space. I'm kind of forced to put them all on their side.
Space is always a problem.
Yeah, it is always a problem when you've got a big collection. It is the image.
Exactly.
So I can see is that Skylanders and you've got Game Boy. I mean, this is just amazing. The amount of stuff crammed in there. There's a Game Boy collection.
Also, and there's also a Saturn somewhere behind all this stuff. You can't really see it. It's everything just jam packed together.
What is there anything particular about? Because obviously you've got a lot of Game Boys there. I'm a big fan of Game Boy ones, but you've got lots of good ones. Is the Game Boy special for you?
It's actually one of my favorite systems. It's also one of the first systems that I owned myself. So I've been playing that probably all my life right now. So yeah.
Oh, very good. Right, okay. Let's get to the next. I don't want to go too quick because there's so much. This is the picture I like. Is that like one of those? I'll take it that's a drum kit for band, rock band or whatever. Yeah.
No, it's an actual drum.
It's an actual drum kit.
Yeah, it's an actual drum kit.
Do you play the drums? Well, obviously.
I'd like to think I do, but.
Okay, so this is I like this because it's not just a games room and it's not just like a massive geek out. So what sort of music do you like then?
Any type of music, doesn't really matter. It's all about sometimes you're angry, you listen to some metal music. Sometimes you just want to relax and you listen to some reggae or Bob Marley or something. And I like to listen to the Beatles a lot, so that's pretty cool. And sometimes I just like to turn this on, and when the Beatles start playing, I just like to drum with it. That's what happens.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of relaxing.
Is it one of those drum kits where
it's not electric, so you can put a headphone in? Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Very 80s.
Very 80s, yeah.
Very retro. We like that. And I'll see that. Is that a? Sorry, I'm just so nosy because we love this. But I know a lot of my viewers just turn up for this bit because they're like, we just like. In England, we have this show called Through the Keyhole where they go to a celebrity's house and then the audience have got to guess who the celebrity is by looking at their pictures and their awards or whatever it might be. And this is a bit like that. Us British people, we're really nosy. So like we like looking in people's houses. So this is why this is something that we really enjoy. So we've got a Nintendo cushion there. Where's that from? Can you buy? Is that something you got made, or can you buy that?
It's actually something my wife bought me. So she bought it somewhere online, I guess, and it's been sitting there ever since. It's quite soft, so you can sit on it.
Oh wow, good. And I can see like a red alcove there. What's in the red alcove?
Red alcove is actually it's the white shelf. It has all the white.
The white shelf. I love
the white
it.
shelf. Yeah. It has a white PS3. It's the Lightning edition. The Final Fantasy 13 Lightning edition.
Oh yeah,
Japan.
Of course. Yeah, got 5 of those.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, that's standing right there.
What's above that then? I see like Switch. Is that just like accessories and stuff?
It's all kinds of accessories indeed.
Excuse me.
Some old SNES controllers and. Yeah, you got Time Crisis right there, and you got a pink DS, 3DS XL, and things like that.
What's the big standee thing behind the drum kit?
It's Bumblebee, actually.
Oh, it's Bumblebee from.
Yeah.
Right, guys, let me see if I can zoom in. I know when I do this, though, I always mess it up. I always try this. Do you know? I'm not going to do this, guys, because you know why? I'm going to mess it up, aren't I? If I try it. No, I'm not. I did it. Let's have a look at Bumblebee. Oh, it is Bumblebee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. What's that Yoshi egg thing on the right there? Is that like a Yoshi egg light?
It's an egg light, yeah. It's an
what? You've got a Yoshi egg light? Where did that come from?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What? I love Yoshi. Yoshi's one of my favourite characters.
Yeah, same here.
Wow, and what about this little shelf here? Is that like magazines and stuff, I see? Like books
no, those are mostly Game Boy games, DS games, some old retro things like Intellivision games and Atari games. The bottom shelves are all about some limited and special editions, and that's basically it.
And hold on a minute, let me just get this right. Look, I'm studying this picture in more detail now. So actually, we can actually go through a door there. So this is a room, and then there's another room.
Yeah, it's a smaller room, but it's also still a room.
So you've got like a pantry of retro games.
Yeah. I do.
I thought I was cool with my Dreamcast cupboard. Colonel has got a pantry of retro games.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not jealous. No, I'm not jealous. Right. Why do I do this to myself every week? Why do I do this to myself every week, guys? All these people with these awesome collections. Right. Let's move on. Let's move on. Right. Next picture. Oh, I see Sonic and Mario Olympic Games. Yes. This is what I'm talking about, guys, with the bundles. Now, let's zoom in here. I can see how many GameCube bundles. GameCube is my favourite Nintendo console. How many GameCube bundles do you have?
Gee, I think I must have over 10.
That's not fair.
Yeah, something like that.
That's not fair. You should share the love.
Yeah, but people always ask me, these are so expensive. How did you come by these?
Bought them at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
People are like, exactly. Why have you got 400 Sonic games? Been buying them 20 years. Like, you cost me £2 a pop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it happened.
Can I ask you a question about GameCubes? Now, I am a huge GameCube fan. I trade in GameCube a lot for my business. What's your? I know you're going to say Spice Orange, but what's your favourite colour GameCube?
Actually, it's the Tales of Symphonia.
Oh yeah, like the kind of the bluey colour one, bluey greeny colour. Okay, yeah.
I also like the Hanshin Tiger ones. It's the baseball
team, yeah, the white one with the tiger. Exactly. And that. That's a good one.
Yeah. I don't have that one, but
no, I have not seen one yet. If I ever get one, I'll show you it and go look. And then is this all weed? Is this just loads of weeds?
It's loads of weeds indeed. Yes.
Oh my God! And what's this underneath here? Is that is obviously a that looks like a Virtua Boy? Am I right? I have to look now.
True.
And then what's behind? And then an F.
Oh
my God!
M-Strat. You've got a TurboGrafx. There's an N64. It's the Pikachu edition.
Yeah, no, SC, no. Just sorry, Colonel. Sam, who helps me with the stream here. Yes. Yeah. Sam, he's got the Tales of Symphonia bundle. You've got the controller, haven't you, in the game? Like I've got the game. Yeah, that's amazing.
I have the console somewhere. I'm not sure if it's in this picture though.
Don't worry. People can follow you on Twitter. Sam, can you have you got the while we're halfway through the pictures? Have you got the? Shall I do it? Because I don't know if you don't really use Twitter, do you? You're not a Twitter person. My mods aren't Twitter people. Let me get the Colonel's link because I've got to give you a shout out. Let me get you here. Where's your messages? There's the Colonel. Right, go to your page. Let's see that. And I'll do it myself. Could do it all myself. Right, let's stick that in it. Right, everyone go and follow. Anyone who's got Twitters, go now and do that. Right, where's the next one?
Thanks. Yeah.
Oh no, you've got to have a shout out. You've put all this effort in. I mean, look at these pictures, guys. This is a professional. Anyone? Now, just before we move on to the next one, lots of people ask me, can I show my collection? Can I show? Of course, anyone can show their collection, but the pictures have got to be as good as this. This is the standard now. They've got to be high resolution. I'm only joking, guys. You can send whatever you want. Right, next picture. So I love winding people up. Now that's Xbox. What's the game? Oh my God, mine's just gone blank.
I'm waiting for there's a bit of lag here, so right, yeah. Gears of War 3.
My boyfriend will love this. My boyfriend will look at that like, oh, I love that.
Yeah, I managed to get my hands on one. I always wanted one, and I found one really cheap too. So I was quite happy with that.
Nice, beautiful. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of modern shooters, but I see my boyfriend play that game quite a lot, and I played it a little bit on my PC because when I first got my PC, I needed a game to test it out. Because you got to get a game. So I tried that Gears of War, and it was a really fun game. You're like me, aren't you? You really like your custom-y thing. You show a lot of on Twitter custom, and that's the sort of stuff that me and you just love, isn't it? That kind of that paint job.
I remember you have that really brilliant Mega Drive. You have the.
Oh yeah, I've got a few bits. Yeah. I've got a few custom ones that we show every now and again. And who's the lady with the umbrella? I don't recognise that.
No idea. I just thought it was a very nice statue.
Yeah,
I
it kind
really
of
don't know.
matches with the console, doesn't it? The colours and that.
Sure,
Very nice.
that's
Yeah,
exactly why she's there.
so is Gears of War a game you like, or did you just like the
Yeah,
console?
very much. No,
Oh,
I
you're
also
into
like the
it
game
now?
pretty much. Yeah, yeah. I remember the first one when it came out. It was such a great game. Not only the single player, but multiplayer was pretty cool too. It had some great maps, and yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Absolutely.
Do you think then? I mean, obviously they still make Halo games as Halo games, but do you think that was the way for Microsoft to say, look, Halo's, we've kind of done Halo now. We need something new to freshen up, but still have that kind of gun action. Do you think that was kind of Microsoft turning a bit like what some big studios doing? Go, we need another big franchise now. Do you think that was?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, and I think it helped them pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, it's done all right, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
That's right, because I was playing. Is it what's the latest one out? Is it the fifth one on Game
Yeah,
Pass?
the fifth one. Yeah,
Yeah, and I put that on my PC because I got a gaming PC about a year ago, and that was one of the games I used to test it out, and it was really fun. It's not really my kind of thing. I'm more into my kind of like platformers and stuff like that and fighting games. But yeah, it's good. So I can see what you like. And the console. I mean, if I saw that console, I would buy that because I just think that looks snazzy, and it's red. It's like Knuckles red.
Exactly, and the fun thing is when you turn it on, and there's this Gears of War sound that it makes, so it's pretty cool.
Wow, sounds
Yeah.
very good. Okay, right. I think we've got. Now this one's good because I see a Magic Ray Earth Game Gear there.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm pretty happy with that one.
Oh, is it
I bought that
minty? Is
one.
it minty inside?
Yeah, absolutely. It's minty inside. Yeah, it has the plastic bag that it came in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all there. It's all complete.
So anyone that doesn't know, there is a series of games, or like a anime type thing called Magic Ray Earth in Japan, and there was a game released on the Game Gear like back in the 90s, and Sega released this like bright red Game Gear with the game to go, and it is
Stunning.
lush. It is
Absolutely.
lush.
Yeah.
It is
It's
lush.
great.
And you got a Pokemon. Is that a Nintendo DS up there as
Yeah,
well?
2DS, XL, and the
And another weird figure in a very provocative pose. What's she up to? The young lady
That's
with the long
from
sword.
Onichambara, the Japanese hack and slash game.
Not familiar with that one. I have to look
No?
it up. You have to let me
Yeah.
know. And what's this Mario 25th thing? I don't recognise this because I'm like, I'm not about Nintendo. I don't really
Right.
know about that. So you educate me. What's this Mario thing?
It's actually the same thing as Super Mario All Stars on the Super Nintendo. It's only a re-release for the Wii.
Oh,
It was when Mario was 25. So
yeah, no, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Colonel. Samuel, who was the last guest, said that that figure, the figure with the umbrella, is from Good Smile Racing. It's on Crunchyroll.
right.
Oh, we
Okay.
learned something. See, the guests
Yeah.
are interacting and learning about each other. Sorry, Mario's 25th.
Very-
Yeah. So, what exactly is it? Just the game and stuff in it, like a stuff?
Yeah, it's simply the same game.
So another bundle. It's another bundle sort of thing.
Sort of, yeah.
Wow. And yes, bubble. Right, everyone do the music. Everyone do the music in their heads. We love a bit of bubble. Why is
I'm
bubble
actually
bobble
quite
there?
disappointed with this. I had this game for many years, maybe 25, 30 years. And turns out that the box is actually not real. It's a fake, it's a repro.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's still sitting there. I'm pretending that it's real, but it's not. It's actually a repro. But it's okay, things like that happen.
Oh well, you know what? Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm sure you've got enough video games to compensate for having one repro.
Sure.
Would
So
I be right in
repro,
thinking
it's
that?
all good. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the bit, Samuel. You didn't have to do that, my love. That's oh no. Okay. I should be paying you. I mean, you've been in Star Wars. I should be paying you like a fee to your agent or something. Right. That's lovely. I love this Magic Ray Earth one, guys. If you I'm not going to say go and emulate something because but you try and play the game if you can. It's a cracker. And Bubble Bobble, of course. We might play that later on this evening on Amstream. Next one, I think this. I've got two more pictures. Oh, Retro Gamer Magazine. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doom.
No, I
right?
don't want to move you. I wanted to move the picture. Let's do that. And Oh, I'm doing it again, aren't I? Look, I'm mucking up. I'm mucking around. Faith, don't cross the streams, Faith. So what is it about the original DGN that you're like, yeah, I want that. I want that. What is it about this?
Well, this is actually the first. It's actually the second item that I bought with my own money. The first one was an NES.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing was a Game Boy. I have never seen a Game Boy before. It was back when I was probably 14, secondary school. We went on school camp, and after a day of hard labor in the woods, after dinner we just hang about, and one of the guys grabbed his bag and pulled out a Game Boy with a few games, and I had no idea what it was. All I knew was that after that I just needed one myself, and that's actually this item with the first game that I got, Gargoyle's Quest, which was really good. So I decided to show it here.
That's an amazing story. See, that's why I like doing these. It's not really about the collection. It's those stories. That really gets me. That draws me in. That, like, you can remember it. You're in the woods.
Yeah,
you guys like, hey, it's a Game Boy.
The sound of the machine, the music that it made.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Wow. See, see, guys, that's why we do this. That's why we do this. That's why. That is amazing. Right, okay, and you've got Rossi, Retro Gamer there, and Gargoyles. So obviously, so the NES was your first bundle then, because that obviously come with Mario and Duck Hunt, I'm going to imagine, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that
exactly.
one, yeah. And then the Game Boy with Tetris. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, I still, obviously everyone, I still play Tetris to this day. I play it on a Game Boy player on my GameCube all the time. I'm always trying to hit, like, million scores and stuff.
Exactly.
And and it's brilliant, and I love that. And I love the fact that you pick out these things. Right? I mean, I've seen the stuff you've got in your collection. You could just show off ridiculous things, and I just love the fact though that you've picked out a Game Boy with Tetris, because I think that just brings it back down to you're still a gamer as well, aren't you? Because a lot of criticism that's levelled at me a lot, having like a big games collection, is, oh, where do you get the time to play it? You're just one of these people that cares about the money, blah blah blah. But that's not true, because anyone that knows me and watches me stream knows I play my games to death. But it's the same for you, isn't it? I know you play them because I see you chatting on Twitter a lot about games you've played and
that's
stuff.
what I do.
So what is it still today though that makes you still want to play all these old games? What is it about you? Okay, we can obviously understand getting the collection, but why is it all this now, this time in your life, you're still going back to all these old games? What's the draw?
The usual, actually. It's just about escaping from real life, having fun, relax, saving the world, be the hero. Like today, I finished Shadow of the Tomb Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You read the Shadow game?
Yeah, I think
brilliant game. It was so amazing, and that's just why I do it. It's so amazing. It looks good. Great story. A lot of puzzles to solve, and that's just what gets me going every time.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm so sad we're getting to the last picture. I wonder if it's just gone forever. Now, this is the one you sent me afterwards, didn't you? You sent this to me afterwards.
Yeah,
Now, let's go through this picture, because I want to talk about the things in the bottom right at the end. So this is Mario Kart, isn't it? Now, what is it about? Everyone can see that, yeah? It's just Mario Kart Central. Why is Mario Kart a thing? Talk me through Mario Kart.
Again, back in 1992 or early 90s, it was when Super Mario Kart was released. It was a game that I have never heard of, and the first time that I did learn from it, I didn't really like the idea. I knew Mario games, but they were all about platformers, right? And you had the Yoshi Cookie stuff and all that thing, Dr. Mario. But when I started playing Super Mario Kart, I was just hooked. My friend bought it. We played it at his house. We hung out on the couch, had some drinks, had some snacks, but we always played Super Mario Kart, and it just always stayed there. Every Nintendo console that came afterwards, I just had to get it because I knew there was a Mario Kart, and that's how this evolved.
It's amazing. So, like, First of all, I'm very jealous of all the GameCube different variants there. Do you know what? I didn't even know that there was a Mario Kart released with a black GameCube. I knew the silver one existed, and if I ever see it, I will obviously get it. I've got the one in the middle, that purple one with the Zelda disc. I didn't even know there was a black one until I saw this picture this morning. I mean,
there's one more. There's one more. There's also a purple one.
Yeah, I've got the... So what's the one in the middle? Because I've got the purple one in the middle there.
Yeah, exactly. But there's also another edition that's the same as the silver and the black one.
But with that
Only
artwork?
with purple. Yeah, exactly. It's all purple with a purple machine inside.
Wow.
So I'm still missing that one. So
Wow. If I ever see it, I'll let you grab it first because you
Yeah.
know I've got enough GameCubes. I'm in my stock at the minute. I've got about 20 GameCubes to get rid of and
Whoa.
sell. I'm not plugging my own business, people, but if you need a GameCube, please just ask me. I've got lots of them to sell. Please, I need rid of them. I'm really messing. Right. Okay. Now then, I see in the bottom right. All this Nintendo. Sorry, guys. All this Nintendo. I've got to cleanse my palate. How many Mega Drive variants do you have? Because I'm going to see if I can beat you on saying. How many Mega Drive variants do you have?
I just have 4.
Yes! Yes! I beat the Bundle Master on something. I have 17 different boxed Mega Drives.
Wow.
Yes!
Amazing.
From all around the world. Japan, America. I've got how many
jealous
Sonic ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 Sonic ones. Just Sonic Mega Drives.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they are great. And I'm sorry to say I don't have them.
I'm only messing. All right, what ones have you got? Come on, let's do it. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess. You've got a standard Mega Drive 2. You've got the Sonic 2, Sonic 2. You've got the Mega Games 1 pack, and the other one there is probably going to be the Mega Drive 6 pack.
Exactly.
Ah!
Yeah.
I'm winning.
Exactly.
I'm winning. I knew
I'm
it.
sure you've
I knew
seen
it.
it.
I knew
I'm
it.
sure you've
I knew
seen
it.
the post.
I knew I'd get that game. Right, everybody. The Bundle Master himself, Colonel Falcon. Now go. Let me put another thing in the what's name there. I'm being right there. Do that, guys. If you've got Twitter, please go and follow the Bundle Colonel. This has been amazing. Thank you for taking us around your game room. You're now a friend of the show. You've got to come back.
Thanks.
You've got to come back and you've got to show us because I know you've got even more, haven't you? You've got even more.
Sure. We can do some more.
I reckon in a few months' time, we should get you back on and you've got to show us some more. I know you've got other delights. I know for this, you're probably trying to show things that people might be a little bit more familiar with. But I know you've got some weird stuff like me, which is awesome. And we can just geek out about it. Right, Colonel, thank you very much. I've got to say goodbye, my lovely. That was fantastic. Thank you for the time. I'll talk to you tomorrow, my friend. And have a nice evening, I suppose.
Thank you too.
And thank you for the room tour, guys. That's amazing. See you later, Colonel. See you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Right, let's end that. Wow, guys, how amazing was that? Big shout out to my guests today. We've had Sam #1, the backbone of the show, doing the news for us. Some great stuff going on there. Make sure that you follow the news section with us every week so you keep up to date with all your gaming geeky news. We had obviously Sam Victor, actual Star Wars actor. I know he's playing it down. I know he's sitting there playing it down, going, yeah, it's not really that big a deal. But it's like, dude, you've got a Rogue Squadron call sign. That is a thing. That's the thing. And of course, the lovely Colonel we've had today. Now, guys, this is the end of the Retro Radio show, but it's not the end of the Retro stream. So I'm going to go and have my break where I end the stream for about 10 minutes. If you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. I won't take offence if you want to bugger off, because it's just going to be me playing computer games now, like a normal streamer. So thank you very much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed that. I think this has been one of the... I know I say this every week. I just sound like a broken record. That was one of the best radio shows ever. I've been Retro Faith. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all my guests and for all you people hanging out.